Welcome to Crystal Palace. No, not this Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Crystal Palace Dinosaur Park in southeast London. They were the world's first three-dimensional, full-scale reconstructions of dinosaurs sculptured by Benjamin Waterhouse. These dinosaurs are not really scientifically accurate due to the lack of scientific data at the time, but this is still a very significant step for the history of paleontology. One of the best known Benjamin Waterhouse sculptures is Megalosaurus. Megalosaurus was the first dinosaur who was apparently good enough to get his own name. This sculpture may have been based in monitor lizards, who are also known as the big boy lizards. Hefty and bulky and also four-legged. But later it was discovered that they were actually bipedal and had small forearms. But this is totally not their fault because they didn't have anything except for a few bones. And yes, I'm talking about scientists from the 1800s, not dinosaurs. Because otherwise, that would be body shaming. Now, if you don't know this dinosaur, chances are you are not a dinosaur yourself. This is good old Gertie, and she was the first ever dinosaur to appear in an animated film. Well, actually it was part live action and part animation. Since it was a black and white movie, there were intertitles that helped convey necessary information to the audience. And so Winsor McKay, the creator of this little movie, instructs her to come out of her cave and do as she's told. And before you start freaking out because of a bunch of men who are telling a poor, aging, female dinosaur what to do, just wait a moment, as she's going to psychologically tear them apart. So instead of a pretty bow, she aggressively swallows a massive stone, and then literally obliterates an entire tree in just a few seconds. And then she finally starts bowing to the audience, and now you may inadvertently think, well, she did succumb after all. Well, you clearly haven't seen this yet. Are you seeing this too? She's raising both her feet instead of just the right one. What a rebellious creature. Go, Gertie. The only thing that I personally do not condone is her egregiously throwing Jumbo in the lake. That was a dick move, Gertie. Later the same year came out another black and white movie named Brute Force. This time it's a story that features cavemen and dinosaurs. And apparently it was the first appearance of dinosaurs in a live action movie. This is a thrilling, blood-pumping piece of action that unravels the story of cavemen that are attacked by different prehistoric creatures, like a giant lizard, a snake, and a dinosaur. But this movie is extremely violent, so please be careful.
Move, bitch, get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Move.
The next one up is The Ghost of Slumber Mountain of 1918. A man named Holmes tells his children a story about his adventures in the forest of Slumber Mountain. In flashback, we see him stumble upon a magic telescope, and then he approaches it and uses it to look at the peak of the Slumber Mountain and sees an epic clash between a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Triceratops. He must have gotten real high up on that hill to start seeing dinosaurs, right? But in all seriousness though, can you imagine how awesome it must have been for the kids from the early 1900s? What the hell, even for the grown-ups, just be sitting there in a movie theater and watching this banger. Two giant prehistoric reptiles coming to life on screen and battling it out before your very eyes? This must have been surreal, man. And this one is a movie about a love triangle that takes place within 3 different time periods. Yeah, this is kind of complicated, but what's really most important for us right now is that the main star of the movie, Buster Keaton, is seen riding on the back of a brontosaurus during the Stone Age part of the movie. It seems like they have a very nice, trusting relationship going on. The Bronte even lowers its massive neck for the dude to jump off. And the dino even says something at the end, but I guess we'll never know what it said.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
The Lost World unravels the story of Professor Challenger, who comes across a journal of a missing explorer. This journal contains sketches of various dinosaurs in it. And after having found these remarkable pieces of potential evidence that dinosaurs still exist in the Amazon jungle, he initiates a group expedition. And of course, at first everybody's just making fun of the poor guy, but eventually they do encounter a bunch of great dinosaurs there, like Pteranodon, Brontosaurus, Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus rex, and Triceratops. Although the main character of this film is a giant gorilla, there were a lot of dinosaur species shown in this movie, particularly on the mythical Skull Island, which actually is where King Kong was born. And it's also worth noting that Willis O'Brien, who worked both on The Lost World and The Ghost of Slumber Mountain special effects, also did create all the dinosaurs from the Skull Island. Especially memorable was this legendary battle between King Kong and a giant Tyrannosaurus. And by the way, this movie ended up saving RKO Pictures from bankruptcy. All that goes to show how important Willis O'Brien's contribution was to animation and just generally to the art of cinema. This man was a true master of his craft. King Kong was so successful that eventually they had to come up with a sequel. This time around, it's about the King Kong's albino son.
Everybody makes it. Are you albino? Oh shit! I had no clue until this moment.
The son goes on to continue his father's work in, well, just being primal and ferocious and unstoppable.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yeah, and most importantly, there were also dinosaurs. Triceratops, a Nothosaurus, and Elasmosaurus.
Surprise, motherfucker.
1 million BC is a really wild one. In this movie, they were using actual animals on the set, like different lizards, a snake, and an alligator. Basically, the Crystal Palace dinosaurs decided to show who is the real deal here. They glued prosthetics to the animals' bodies to make them look like dinosaurs, and honestly, it doesn't sound good at all, but I hope the animals were fine. I hope these scenes were shot with toys or something. This Allosaurus was portrayed by a dude in a costume. And of course, the star of the hour. The pig. I mean, seriously, this is an actual pig in a rubber suit, and with a Triceratops mask on. Fantasia is a unique Disney film with abstract animated segments set to classical music, including iconic scenes like Mickey Mouse as the Sorcerer's Apprentice and depictions of Earth's evolution and Greek mythology. The Rite of Spring segment is showing the Earth's past from the Big Bang and the beginning of life to the evolution of sea creatures like plesiosaurs and Placocheilus. Pteranodons are swooping down for fish. A Tylosaurus is gliding in water. Brontosauruses are chewing on some delicious leaves. And everything seems to be quiet and serene until this Giga Chad rolls in.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
What a party pooper that young man is. Well, anyway, and then everyone just dies. Slowly and painfully due to the lack of food and terrible, terrible weather. An engaged couple decides to visit an uncharted island, only to find out that it's inhabited by deadly ceratosaurs. This time around, it's not pigs who have to wear the rubber suit, but people, to look like legitimate ceratosaurs. And for my taste, I like the stop-motion animation from King Kong, The Ghost of the Slumber Mountain, and The Lost World way better. These dudes are so slow and so seemingly worn out like they're about to faint. Well, this actor actually did collapse for real because of the overheating in the rubber costume, and later it was decided to keep this scene because it just felt authentic.
That was legitness.
Yeah, it was, huh?
I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm thinking about movie dinosaurs, Godzilla is one of the first ones that comes to mind. Yeah, I know, this is not a real dinosaur, it's a kaiju. There's a whole genre in Japan dedicated to enormous monsters. This fire-breathing Japanese monster is just so iconic and has been rocking in the pop culture arena for such a long time. You just cannot not love this fabulous creature. There's been 37 movies about Godzilla, and it's just impossible to cover it all in passing. Godzilla has taken on so many different forms and sizes, and destroyed so many cities. Well, mostly Tokyo and New York, all over again. And I don't care what anyone says, but the 1998 Godzilla is my childhood movie, so I really love it. I mean, it may very well be objectively bad, but this one will nevertheless forever have a special place in my heart despite all the shade. So yeah, I got you, Zilla. We all know who the man's best friend is, right? Of course it's Dino. Super cute and faithful companion of the Flintstones, he's sort of like an overgrown retriever who is extremely easy to fall in love with. And this is literally all I have to say about Dino, so yeah. Good boy, alright, I gotta get going, Dino.
Fetch the bone!
Allow me to introduce you to Gorgo, a fine, young English gentleman and a good son to his mother. He's a dashing lad full of charm and wit. And it is my pleasure to present his esteemed mother, a refined and well-mannered woman of poise. Take a glimpse of her as she takes a leisurely stroll through the bustling city of London, radiating grace and elegance. Yeah, I know, my British accent is whack. Anyhow, what you've just witnessed is a British rip-off of Godzilla. It is well made and entertaining, especially considering a very low budget it had, but it doesn't negate the previous statement anyway. So, long story short, Gorgo got kidnapped by a sketchy bunch of fishermen. Before you know it, he's getting paraded around like a sideshow attraction in a London circus. But then his mom caught wind that her boy ghosted on her, and she swooped in like a boss in London, laying the smack down on everyone, busted him out of the circus crew, and they casually dipped out to the sea.
And leaving man himself to ponder the proud boast that he alone is Lord of all creation.
And you know what? Fair enough. This case scenario, I'm on the monsters team, hands down. British people are in the wrong here. I am sorry, but we have to admit it.
You fucking stupid cunt! Fucking hell!
This is Cecil, an incredibly adorable plesiosaur-looking sea serpent from the popular kids show Time for Beanie. He possesses a very loyal personality, however is not very bright, if you know what I mean.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to... Anyway.
Beanie and Cecil are the best buds and are always hanging out together, fighting different bad guys, and their main antagonist is DJ. No, not this kind of DJ. It's just an acronym for Dishonest John.
Dishonest John, disc jerky.
Yeah, I know. The jokes are getting better with every next dinosaur. There's another, less famous and memorable, dinosaur-looking monster also created by a Japanese entertainment company Toho. He got his first appearance in the movie King Kong Escapes. He might not be as famous as his studio-made Godzilla, but he was apparently taught by karate masters since he was like a little bitty reptile boy. You have never seen anything like this before. This dude's crowning move is a freaking aerial kick that almost finished King Kong himself.
Fatality.
This adorable creature is Prickle. He is a Plateosaurus and also a friend of Gumby. Gumby is an American franchise that is based around this green, clay humanoid character. I am myself a big clay guy, and especially as a kid I loved making clay figures, so I couldn't pass on this little cute clay dinosaur.
Nobody can be that good.
Yay! We finally get to cover the almighty, dread-instilling, ferocious pterodactyl Sauron. Yeah, I was also shocked to learn that there's more than one Sauron. Marvel Sauron is a supervillain from the X-Men universe. A physician, Dr. Lycus, who got bit by a mutant pterodactyl and turned into an energy vampire.
This is my office, also known as the hunting ground.
Dan, how are you? Mornings are great for feeding. People aren't really, frustrated yet by the entire day.
Of course, nobody can be as exciting as Colin. However, Sauron can legit suck out all the energy from other mutants, and by doing so, he's gaining more speed and strength. So yeah, a badass pterodactyl with psychic energy draining powers? Mega cool. Valley of the Gwangi is a spectacular dinosaur cowboy mashup. This movie is considered to be among the best works of one of the greatest stop-motion animation artists ever, Ray Harryhausen. So that says something. I mean, for what it's worth, I personally feel like this is the best stop-motion work I have ever witnessed. This movie has a lot of action. Gwangi, the giant Allosaurus, is getting roped by cowboys, and then he breaks free shortly after and wreaks havoc in a circus tent, and then goes on to rampage through the town. Gwangi is not a meek type himself, and he likes to test his strength by battling everyone and everything he sees. Along the way, he KOs a Pteranodon, a Styracosaurus, an elephant, and many weak and tiny humans. And at the end, he dies in a collapsing cathedral that's set on fire. What a death! The Marshall family is brought to a mysterious land through a dimensional portal. The land is populated by dinosaurs and all kinds of other dangerous beings. The main dinosaur stars of this 1974 TV series are Grumpy the Tyrannosaurus and Big Alice, who is an Allosaurus. The two of them also later featured in a 2009 movie where poor Alice was murdered in cold blood by some kind of ice bomb. It was actually very unnecessarily gnarly and sad. Like, why would you do such a thing to this poor dinosaur? Another Marvel supervillain on the list, Stegron. This is a human and Stegosaurus hybrid, and he's also an enemy of Spider-Man, Black Panther, S.H.I.E.L.D., and other heroes of Marvel Universe. Vincent Stegron was hired by S.H.I.E.L.D. to study dinosaur DNA with Dr. Kurt Connors in the Savage Land. Stegron injected himself with stolen dinosaur DNA, transforming himself into a humanoid Stegosaurus-like creature with the ability to control dinosaurs. Imagine having this ability to control dinosaurs in the 21st century. Oh my god, my boy did himself dirty. He planned to conquer the world and convert humanity into creatures like himself. But then, in a battle with Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Khazar, in New York City, Stegron was defeated and seemingly drowned in a river.
I'm dying. Help me.
This is initially a very low-key, amphibious dinosaur with orange spins on its head and back, and with a fin on its tail. Titanosaurs didn't have no beef with no one until some mad scientist found a way of controlling this big boy through some kind of a chip which was embedded into the poor fella's head for, well, weaponization purposes. And so our boy went wilding, wreaking havoc on everything he sees and offering a new challenge for Godzilla. And they both apparently have superior boxing skills, so this was a hell of a fight. This unholy creature is Devil Dinosaur. He first appeared in 1978 on the pages of Marvel's Devil Dinosaur, the first issue. A tribe of killer folk, hostile beings from the Devil Dinosaur's planet, nearly burned the young dinosaur to death. However, he was saved by Moonboy, a member of a rival tribe, the Small Folk. The fire triggered a mutation in Devil Dinosaur, granting him enhanced powers and changing his skin color from olive green to fiery red. Devil Dinosaur displayed exceptional loyalty to his constant companion Moonboy and appeared to possess above-average intelligence compared to other dinosaurs. So, basically, they became the best buds ever since and went on various adventures together. They even battled against Godzilla once, which is super cute. The Dinobots are a type of Transformers based on dinosaurs. The original 3 Dinobots were Grimlock, the leader who took on the form of a Tyrannosaurus, Slag, the Triceratops, and Sludge, who can turn into a Brontosaurus. Later on, they were joined by Snarl, who's a robot Stegosaurus, and Swoop, who's a flying, nimble Pteranodon. The most badass of them all is Grimlock, and every other member of this dino crew is under his direct command. They have appeared in numerous different iterations of Transformers over the years, including Michael Bay's Age of Extinction. What can I say? A bunch of menacing robots that are able to transform into giant prehistoric reptiles is just cool all around.
Faster! Go! I'll kill you!
This story revolves around a little baby Apatosaurus. The little guy is in jeopardy from both Dr. Eric Kvyat, who wants to become famous after bringing the dinosaur to the States, and local African military who sees the dinosaur as a threat, and so they are trying to take him out. The movie could have been more successful potentially, but it was a disaster. And the main problem was the dinosaurs themselves. Whether it was a budget deficit or some other circumstances, but the dinosaurs are often described as dopey, weird looking with dead eyes and with their mouths always slightly open, which kind of gives them this very confused and unbelievable look. And everybody was bashing on this movie real hard, which resulted in these abysmal reviews it ended up getting. Look, I don't know about you guys, but to me, personally, they don't really look as bad as people made it seem to be. I think that these are pretty decent looking dinosaurs, and it's just that their facial expressions and mimics could have been improved, but other than that, good job. So you guys, this is pretty much it for the first part of this video, and there are going to be more dinosaurs, so definitely be on the lookout and see you in the next one.